Hello everybody, this is JD again, and this time I'm going to talk about something that Ben Carson talked about and Donald Trump talked about. And a lot of you may be wondering about Muslims within our country. Ben Carson, apparently he doesn't like to read history books. He may be a great neurosurgeon, but he knows nothing about John Hanson, the very first president of the United States. Voted by the Continental Congress, I will agree, in which George Washington also voted. It was a unanimous vote. That man's supposed to have been a Moor, which is the earlier version of Muslim. He set up the office of the president as it is ran today. If it wasn't for this Moor, or Muslim, the United States would never exist. Because the Army, the Continental Army, Congress decided wasn't going to pay. And they marched on to New York. And Congress fled. And this Moor stood there, waited for the troops. They wanted to make George Washington king. And he talked with them and he promised them that they would get paid if he had to sell everything he owned. Yes, it was a Moor, a Muslim, that saved the United States of America. Under the Articles of Confederation, I will not disagree. But just think about that. And Ben Carson had to say what he said about a Muslim being in the office. As long as church and state is kept separate, what's the difference? The responsibility is to the response of the people, not the government. As a president, he's a leader of the government, but he responds to the needs of the people. Sorry, maybe Ben Carson missed that. Now let's go to Donald Trump's, where one thing about Obama being where he was born, who cares? He's so short in his term now, anything and everything would just cost the federal government a lot of money, which we, the taxpayers, would have to pay for. It's not like our government has this big bankroll. No, it's a big tax roll. Anything further they spend comes out of your pocket. So who cares? Obama's term is almost up. If later on, through the years, it is found that he was not born in the United States, that makes him a fraudulent president. Being a fraudulent president, everything he signed will be null and void and has to go through Congress again and be re-signed by a valid president. That's if he was born outside the United States. That's the worst case scenario. Or is it the best? Depends on what he signed and how you feel about it. So that's enough said about Obama, where he was born. Right now, I'm not worried about it. I don't care about it. Everything in due good time. Let's not waste our efforts on things we cannot, has already been done and is over with. Now, what about the comment about the Muslims in the hills practicing and training? Let's see, if we go to Ohio, we're going to find a bunch of groups, several different groups in Ohio, doing just that, in the hills, practicing, training, practicing battle techniques, storing up dry goods, collecting caches of weapons. But then if we go into Colorado, we're going to find the same thing. Go to California, they're there too. Oregon, they're there. In Washington State. In every single state, there are groups of people doing exactly the same thing that this guy brought up about the Muslim. Why? Why are these people doing this? It's not to one religion or one group. It's all across the country. Do you ever think why they're doing it? Does anybody remember a little structure, religious organization in a town called Waco? These people are afraid that the federal government will attack them, will bang in, rust in their doors, attack them, and take everything away from them that is theirs. They are fearful of the federal government. It doesn't matter whether they're Muslim. They're fearful of the people around them. It doesn't matter whether they're Christian. They are fearful of our nation direction that it is heading. And it doesn't matter whether they are political. It all matters that they all believe in the Constitution of the United States, and they are fearful that that Constitution will not apply to them for any reason, because the federal government can take it away. Is it right that our people should have this fear of the government they own, the government that they are the masters of, the government that's supposed to do what they say they want our nation to be? Notice what I'm saying there? There's many different groups in the hills of many different parts of this country, collecting weapons, collecting food, dry goods, building and training for the day the federal government attacks them. That's their fear. Does our Congress listen? No. I mean, let's just take one simple little thing. Anchor babies. We'll take that one. Constitution says that if you are born, you become automatically under the jurisdiction of that state, therefore you are a citizen. A lot of them are yelling in Congress, both sides, all of them. Oh, that's wrong. It was not meant that. It was meant for. Whoa. You want to change that? It only requires an amendment added to the amendment. One sentence that only has to say that at least one parent of the child must be a citizen of the United States or legally a legal alien. Or just leave out legal, must be a citizen. Not even just legal alien. Or you can put must be a citizen or legal alien. One parent must be. That's all you got to add to the 14th Amendment. And that will take care of the whole problem. But Congress can't do that. They're going to tell you they're going to do something about it, but they never do anything that doesn't further their own personal gains. By personal, I mean Congress's, not their individual. But Congress's personal gains. The government's gains, the government rule, the government policies, the government over the people. Not the people over the government. So when someone stands up to you and says, hey, we got this one group, like for example the Muslims, who are in the hills of this state and they are practicing and preparing for battle. Turn to them and say, yeah, and we also have this group, for example the Christians, or this group, the Patriots, or this group, the Black Panthers, or this group, the Red Guardians, or this group. You see, I could go on naming hundreds of groups. We got the KKK. They're still in the woods doing it. We have probably the John Birch Society. I don't hear much about them. They're probably still doing it too in some southern states. But they're all doing it because they are afraid of the federal government. A fear that should not be there. They're afraid of their constitutional rights, privileges, and promises by the Constitution will be taken away. They are afraid or feared, or whatever you want to say, that one day a bunch of people are going to crash through their doors and shoot them and kill them. So, is there a lot of problems? Yes. Like Trump says, we have problems. But the problems aren't with those people in the hills. The problem is that we, as a nation, must get control of our government, we the people, and show the others, we are there for them. No matter who you are, no matter what your beliefs are, we are there for you as a nation. We are one people. And together we will get our government back from the political, whatever you want to call them. So yes, Ben Carlson, you really blew it big time. Because one of the greatest leaders that sat in the office of president, though voted by Continental Congress, was a Moor or a Muslim. Either or. Yes, he was. Oh my gosh. But if it wasn't for him, this country would not exist. And Donald Trump, we do have a lot of problems that need to be handled one by one. But they're not with the people. The problems are with the federal government. And the fear it generates to each and every American within this country. When our forefathers wrote the Constitution, finally, to make a central government, they were fearful of a strong central government. Very fearful. Matter of fact, if you read the Declaration of Independence, you will find out that every single word of the Declaration of Independence applies to at least somewhere in this country to people. Every one of them. To the point of no representation within the parliament. We have territories with no representation within the Congress. They cannot vote. So what have we become? Exactly what we are against. And when you become what you are against, what are you? So Ben, you don't owe an apology because to just the Muslims in this country. You owe an apology to each and every American to have said what you said. Plain and simple. Not just the Muslims, but every single American, every single one of us that belongs to a different group. Because we are one people. And we are together as one people. Not separate. We have our own beliefs, our own lifestyles, but we are one nation of one people. And the government has to start realizing we, the people, are the masters, not the government. And Donald Trump, you can't run this nation like other nations throughout the world because it's not like any other nation. And you got to respect the individuals and understand the fears the people of this nation have against the government. Oh, it's easy when you got all this money and if you don't like it, you can go anywhere in the world you want. But when you're stuck in your community, in your home, and you're trying to defend it and protect it and trying to make a decent living, and the government is there constantly trying to take over and take everything that you got, expect people to go and start practicing, start forming little militias, start hoarding up food, start collecting weapons, start collecting caches of ammunition. Expect that. Because they are afraid, they are frightful, they are frustrated, they are angry, they are aggravated. And it's all because of the lack of the federal government to serve the people of this nation. That's the answer to that question, Donald Trump. Ben Garson, you showed me you are not a Christian. And I can say that positively because I don't think ever would Jesus have said what you have said. He would not belittle or down any group. Heck, he proved it. Did he not have dinner with a tax collector? See? I'm sorry. Maybe I upset two of you guys out there. And I'll be honest with you, I really don't care what you think of me. Like I said when I talked about your lack of leadership at that Republican debate, I really don't care what any of you standing up there think of me. I only care about what the people think. And what the people are concerned. And what the people are worried about. And why the people are so frustrated in this nation. Those are my concerns. I don't understand why you all can't see that for this nation. Maybe it's because you all have too much money. Me, I got nothing. need the help of each and every American to get out of this internet. I need the help of each and every American to get where we need to be. I need the help of each and every American so that they can own their country again. Each and every American. I don't care what your religious beliefs are. I don't care what your political background is. I don't care what tan you got, whether you're beige like me, it's a form of light brown, or if you're as dark as almost pure as this book right here, which is dark brown. They're just different tans. Different tans. Just because someone's tanner than the other, I don't care. Just because someone's facial features are different than the others. Some people have wide eyes like me. Some people have little small eyes like my wife. Some people have oriental shaped eyes. I don't care. I don't care if they're from the Orient. I don't care if they come from Asia millions of years ago and are called the American Indians. I don't care if they came here originally as slaves. I don't care if they came here as indentured servants. I don't care if they came here as the rich trying to make more money. I don't care. All I care is that each and every one of them, all of them, I don't care if they even come now to work and be hard workers, as long as they are good American citizens. And the hypocrisy about that also I'd like to address Congress. Why do you lie to the people about doing something about the illegal immigrants when you all know you have no intention of doing anything? Because you think the people want... No, the people want fair, equitable treatment of everybody. That's what the people want. Not special treatment, not special privileges, not special something. The people want each and every one of us to be seen as the same by the federal government. And people don't want to fear the federal government. They don't want to be frustrated because you make such deals with trade that we no longer have major manufacturing in this country. We got small companies, yes, but the ones that matter, are gone because you, with your stupid federal regulations and taxes and more regulations and more taxes and special interest groups and more taxes, has driven our economy to what it is today. We need to fix all this, and we the people will. But there's only 3 promises, people. Remember, bringing your voice to Washington, D.C., making sure Congress realizes that you are the masters and they are to serve the American people and nothing else, and leadership. That's the promises. All that other stuff I talked about, taxes, immigration, the respect of each person within this nation, the leadership that's needed, the government for the people, of the people, by the people, and to us go hand in hand, no matter who we are, as one nation, to fix all those problems and many more. So people, I ask you, listen to what I say. Check out my other videos. If you disagree, let me know. But help me get out of this cage that I am locked into. Only you can do it. I can't. Thank you for your time. And Trump and CARLSON, boy, you guys have no idea what this nation is really about. And you want to be president? Well, have a nice day. Thank you.